Hello, wonderful people. Here's the summary of Lecture 11 packed with valuable nuggets. The original lecture was about 4 hours long, and if you've watched it, this summary will be a great tool for your revision. Before we dive into the details of price action, I want to let you know that I'm also working on PDF notes. Check the description if you're interested. Now, hit that like button, and let's get into the nitty-gritty. We started with a new week opening gap from Friday. As we approach the 9:30 open, we've marked our liquidity levels on both extremes, identifying sell-side liquidity here and buy-side liquidity there. So far, the opening range gap from Friday has been respected. The opening range gap for Monday is defined by the price action between Friday's close and the 9:30 open on Monday. At this point, ICT anticipated that the sell side would be taken out and that the price should reach the new day opening gap from August 16th, before running toward the relative equal highs and taking out the buy side. However, this wouldn't happen in one swift move. We'd need to wait for a market structure shift and a tap into a fair value gap or the formation of a breaker. If the price passes through these new day opening gap levels, that's acceptable. It's important to observe how the price behaves from there, as not every level will act as support. After reaching the new day opening gap, the price began to reverse. ICT wanted to see the price break above these wicks, take support on the new day opening gap, and then move upward. He emphasized that he wasn't predicting the price, but rather explaining what he wanted to see, a critical distinction. However, the price didn't retrace back to the new day opening gap level and instead moved toward the opening range gap. ICT wanted the candle bodies to remain within the gap, with wicks filling all inefficiencies and targeting the buy side. He wanted the gap to be completely filled, because although the price traveled to it, it didn't fill it completely on the upside, nor did it fill the gap on the downside, even closing below it. As the price approached the fair value gap left below, he wanted price to go below, but price should return without filling the full fair value gap below, and then reverse to fill the gap above. The price respected this, filling the opening range gap. Next, ICT wanted the price to close above the consequent encroachment of the gap, with the following candle moving up, coming back to take support at the consequent encroachment, and then targeting the buy side. However, given the Jackson Hole Symposium's influence, if price has to halt for a bit before the up move, this will be the point. He warned against expecting a single, straight shot at the targets. Instead, it was wise to book partials, as price action during this week tends to overlap significantly, with large bullish candles often followed by equally large bearish ones. The price then completely reversed from the point where some hesitation was expected, creating a large wick at the bottom. ICT applied the Fibonacci retracement tool there, noting that when the price dropped into the wick, it left a volume imbalance, which could be influential if the price reversed from that point. The price touched the first quarter of the wick and rallied. When the price moved from the wick and pulled back, the next down close candle stopped right there. Another key signature that ICT looks for when reading price action. Within just 3 one-minute candles, the price closed at the top of the gap, and ICT now wanted the consequent encroachment of this gap to be respected. The price paused briefly but then reversed without reaching the buy side. This kind of price action can be frustrating. The price fully reversed, taking out the big wick's lows and creating a new lower low while the buy side remained intact. ICT mentioned that if the price were to take out this low, he would lose interest in the price action and close the charts. When the price reversed, ICT applied the Fibonacci tool to the last wick's low, which was a higher low than the previous wick. Now he wanted the price to go above and take support on that level, because this wick is a discount PD array, with the price currently above it. The price at this point had a balanced price range, with the consequent encroachment of the wick acting as a critical level that ICT did not want the price to breach. This was for several reasons, including the presence of relative equal lows where the sell side liquidity was taken, yet the buy side objective remained unfulfilled. With smoother price action on top and jagged action on the bottom, this bottom gap could be a breakaway, and the newly formed gap could be left partially open, serving as an institutional order flow entry drill. Respecting this gap indicates that we're on the correct side of the order flow. At the fair value gap, the price retraced, and a down close candle formed an order block. The next candle opened above it, touched the top wick, then moved upward, breaking the new week opening gap, but fell just short of taking out the buy-side liquidity. This move happened within the context of a silver bullet setup. And when the price took out the sell side from the swing lows and reversed, ICT discussed how to determine whether this is merely a dead cat bounce or an actual reversal aiming for buy-side liquidity. The new day opening gap was the first reference point where the price should break this level without much resistance. If the price comes back, it might touch the lower band of the gap. The nearby swing low is also crucial. If the price doesn't go below the consequent encroachment of this gap, it's forming a reversal rather than a pullback. This is a vital point that can filter out many poor trades. ICT highlighted an area to watch closely. The price wicked through it, worked through these yellow levels. The buy side remained unclaimed, and the price could return to the fair value gap but shouldn't fall below it, as it's part of the balanced price range. Today, the candle closed above the fair value gap, consolidated, and eventually took out the buy side. With session liquidity above and below, patience was required, waiting for one side to be taken out before entering with a clear narrative. When aligned with the correct order flow, any resistance should break and close above. If faced with a large range, applying quadrants can help observe price reactions. If targeting the buy side, the price shouldn't close in the lower quadrant or leave a significant wick on top. All this must occur within the designated time window. Beginners are advised to wait for the first 30 minutes to establish the opening range. In the morning session after the initial opening range has formed, we look for resting liquidity on both sides. The sell side is identified here and here, considering how far below this the price might trade. We also have a new day opening gap from August 16th. ICT took one entry before the true open, explaining the logic behind it. There's a bullish breaker, and if targeting the upside, relative equal highs are nearby, with the new week opening gap above. The target is the low of the gap. While we are observing a 1-minute chart, ICT made this entry on a 15-second chart. Looking at the setup behind this trade, the price bounced back to the breaker, retraced again, created a small swing high, broke that level, and shifted market structure. The price then moved above the breaker, leaving a fair value gap with another gap within it, a 15-second inefficiency, and the larger gap worked as an institutional order flow entry drill. ICT also wanted to see the reaction block pierced. Even if the wick of the first swing high is higher but the body is lower than the next swing, it still counts as a relative swing high and low. When the price pierced through and left a wick, ICT placed the Fibonacci retracement tool on it. If the price doesn't close below the 50% level, it confirms alignment with the correct order flow. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check the description below. I will be back soon with the summary of Lecture 12 soon.